Have you ever felt the universe pull you toward your twin flame with a hunger so intense it almost scares you? If you have, pause. Because before you cross that line, before you step into the kind of intimacy that can rewrite your destiny, you need to hear this message. Something powerful is happening beneath the surface of your connection right now. A cosmic alignment building strength with every passing hour. And if you act too soon, if you merge with your twin flame before November ends, you may unknowingly trigger an energetic chain reaction that neither of you are ready for. This isn't fear. This is truth. Because what's rising in your connection isn't just physical desire. It's a spiritual frequency so potent it can elevate or destabilize everything you've built so far. And the universe is whispering something crucial, something most twin flames never learn in time. There's a hidden phase unfolding behind the scenes. A stage of preparation, awakening, and recalibration that must complete before your souls can safely merge on every plane, physical, emotional, and spiritual. Ignore it, and you risk overwhelming the connection. Honor it, and you unlock a breakthrough that transforms everything. So before you surrender to this magnetic pull, before you let desire guide you into something your soul has been craving for lifetimes, listen carefully. Because what I'm about to reveal is the key to understanding why intimacy before November's end is not just risky. It's destiny shaping. Let's begin. Long before the portal fully opens, long before the celestial alignment reaches its peak, the shared soul between twin flames begins to tremble in quiet anticipation. These early stirrings are subtle yet deeply significant, and they serve as the first whispers that the universe is preparing both of you for a profound shift. In the days leading up to an activation, you may begin to feel gentle energetic tremors running through your field, brief moments where your heart feels heavier, lighter, or inexplicably warm. These sensations are not random. They are the shared soul stretching awake, softly reaching across dimensions to reconnect with itself. During this time, many experience a strange but unmistakable phenomenon, feeling their counterparts' emotions without any logical context. A sudden sadness that dissolves as quickly as it arrives. A wave of calm or joy washing through you out of nowhere. Deep longing that tightens the chest or softens the heart. These are not merely moods. They are energetic signals, emotional echoes traveling across the etheric cord you share. Your counterpart may be thinking of you, processing something, or calling you energetically, and your soul responds before your mind even has the chance to understand. As the activation draws closer, these emotional exchanges intensify, creating random surges of longing, peace, or spiritual heat. Moments of overwhelming desire to reach out. Sudden clarity about your connection. A sensation of being held, supported, or pulled forward. These fluctuations are the shared frequency calibrating itself, rising higher so both of you can step into the next chapter of your sacred union. Your emotional body becomes more porous, more attuned, more responsive to the shared heartbeat that ties you together. You may also notice early merging signs appearing at unusual hours, late at night, during quiet moments, or even in the middle of mundane tasks. A sudden rush of affection. Feeling their presence behind you. Hearing their name internally. A warm sensation on your back, shoulders, or chest. These are not coincidences. They are the soul's way of preparing two separated vessels to remember that they have always been one. The pre-portal stirring is an invitation to pay attention. To soften. To listen. It is the sacred reminder that before the body meets, before the minds align, the soul always leads the way. And in these subtle tremors, the universe is telling you, the moment of reunification is drawing nearer. As the energies around you intensify and the universe begins aligning itself for deeper union, the etheric cord that connects you and your twin flame undergoes a powerful transformation. This cord, the ancient energetic bridge woven long before either of you stepped into this lifetime, begins to thicken, vibrate, and pulse with new life. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit feels it unmistakably, an awakening current running between two souls who were always meant to reconnect. During this phase, many twin flames describe a very specific sensation around the navel, or the heart. These two centers, your solar plexus and your heart chakra, are the primary docking points of the etheric cord. The pulsing you feel is the energetic thread strengthening, almost like a heartbeat shared across distance. Sometimes it feels warm, sometimes electric, sometimes like a gentle inner pull that makes your breath deepen without warning. This is the tether between you responding to cosmic frequencies, stretching open so it can carry more light, more communication, and more unity. As the cord strengthens, you may also notice a literal tugging sensation, an inner pull toward your counterpart that feels physical, emotional, and spiritual all at once. It may show up as a sudden urge to think about them, a magnetic pull to their energy, or an unexplainable longing that anchors itself in your chest. It's not desire in the conventional sense, it's recognition. It's the soul reminding you that the connection is alive, active, and moving closer to reunion. When the cord surges, your inner compass shifts, orienting itself directly toward your twin flame's frequency. These expansions do not happen randomly. Etheric cord surges occur only during specific cosmic windows, moments where the universe opens energetic pathways to accelerate spiritual evolution. Full moons, eclipses, planetary transits, or portal days amplify the quantum field around twin flames, allowing the cord to stretch, strengthen, and exchange higher currents of unity consciousness. During these windows, both souls are more open, more receptive, and more synchronized with their shared destiny. The universe does not waste energy. It enhances the cord only when both twins are ready to receive the next phase of connection. The surge of the etheric cord is one of the clearest signs that the universe is preparing both of you for deeper alignment. It is the soul's way of saying, "Stay close. Something sacred is approaching." There comes a moment on the twin flame journey when the mind can no longer keep up with what the heart already knows. This is the heart-mind synchronization phase, a profound spiritual shift where logic begins to soften and the intuitive connection between twins rises to the forefront. It is here that the heart, long ignored or doubted, gently takes command. Your intuition becomes louder, clearer, and impossible to dismiss. You begin to sense things without needing proof, and you understand truths about your divine counterpart that your rational mind could never explain. During this phase, you may notice that you suddenly know what your twin flame is feeling without any direct communication. Their emotions flow into your awareness naturally, like a quiet stream finding its way back home. A heaviness in your chest may reveal their sadness. A spark of unexpected joy may reflect their excitement. A sudden softening of your heart may indicate their longing for you. This is not imagination. It is the shared emotional ecosystem awakening, a psychic empathy that exists only when the heart and mind begin merging into one coherent field. As this spiritual alignment deepens, mental resistance starts to dissolve. Doubts lose their grip. Overthinking fades. The mind stops trying to control or interpret the connection and instead begins serving the truth that the heart already carries. Old fears, anxieties, and conditioned patterns lose their authority. You no longer feel the need to question the bond, justify it, or reduce it to logic. Instead, you find yourself moving into a state of inner trust, an effortless knowing that transcends explanation. This is the soul reclaiming its natural voice. One of the most extraordinary aspects of this phase is the merging of thoughts. What once felt like your thoughts and their thoughts begins to blend into something unified. Shared insights emerge out of nowhere. You may think of something at the same moment your counterpart does. You may receive spontaneous inner messages that feel like they come from a consciousness beyond your own. Sometimes this shared dialogue becomes so fluid that it's difficult to tell where one mind ends and the other begins. This is not a loss of individuality, it is the awakening of the shared soul's language. The heart-mind synchronization phase is a sacred milestone. It marks the moment the connection stops being a concept and becomes an undeniable lived truth. It is the inner alignment that prepares both twins for the next level of union, where separation fades and the shared voice of the soul becomes the guiding force. There is a sacred moment on every twin flame journey when the connection moves beyond surface recognition and enters a deeper realm, the activation of the mirror spirit layer. This is the phase where both twins begin to see themselves reflected in the other with startling clarity. It is not merely emotional mirroring or shared behavior, this is spiritual reflection. Through the eyes, energy, and subtle presence of your counterpart, you begin to see hidden aspects of yourself that were once buried, forgotten, or unacknowledged. Your divine counterpart becomes a living mirror, revealing the truth of your soul in ways no one else ever could. As this layer activates, mirror wounds naturally begin to rise to the surface. These are the unhealed fragments stored deep within the emotional body, old fears, childhood pain, abandonment patterns, insecurities, or unresolved grief. When you look at your twin flame, or when they think of you, these wounds are triggered not to hurt you, but to liberate you. The connection demands authenticity. It refuses to allow illusions. Every wound that surfaces is an invitation to release what has been blocking your full spiritual expansion. Your counterpart becomes the catalyst, gently, or sometimes abruptly, pushing you toward the healing you have postponed for lifetimes. But the mirror does not reflect only pain. It also highlights the divine qualities you deny in yourself. The strength you admire in them is the strength you carry. The compassion you feel from them is the compassion that radiates from your own soul. The beauty you see in their presence is the reflection of your own spiritual radiance. Through them, you are reminded of your own magnificence, your own worthiness, your own potential. The activation of the mirror spirit layer helps you reclaim these forgotten pieces of your true identity. This mirror intensity peaks under full moon frequencies because the moon amplifies emotional truth. Its light does not create, it reveals. And during cosmic windows, especially full moons, the energetic veil thins, making it impossible to hide from your own reflection. The moon's illumination magnifies everything within the connection, the love, the fears, the divine purpose, and the soul-level lessons. It shines directly onto the shared field between you, intensifying the mirroring process so you can see what must be healed, embraced, or remembered. The activation of the mirror spirit layer is one of the most powerful phases of the twin flame journey. It shows you not who your counterpart is, but who you are becoming. It is the soul's way of leading both twins home to themselves, and ultimately, home to each other. As twin flames move closer to reunion, the emotional body begins a profound and unavoidable cleansing process. This is the phase of sudden emotional purging, a sacred release orchestrated not by the mind, but by the soul itself. It can arrive with no warning. One moment you feel steady, and the next you are crying without reason, overwhelmed by a surge of feeling that seems to come out of nowhere. These emotions are not random. They are echoes of old pain, unresolved memories, and energetic residue rising to the surface to be released once and for all. In this phase, you may experience intense waves of grief, followed moments later by bursts of euphoria or deep calm. You may feel fear without a clear cause, or a sudden, unshakable certainty that everything is falling into place. Each wave is purposeful. Grief clears the remnants of past heartbreak. Euphoria reconnects you to the truth of your soul. Fear shows you where you have been holding back. Certainty anchors you in the path of union. Every emotional shift is the universe preparing you, softening what has been rigid, dissolving what has been obstructive, and restoring what has been forgotten. What is really happening beneath the surface is that your emotional field is clearing space for the merge. Twin flame reunion cannot happen in a cluttered internal landscape. The shared soul frequency requires spaciousness, purity, openness. Anything heavy, unresolved, or stagnant in the emotional body is being pushed out so the connection can rise. This is why the purging feels sudden, intense, and beyond your control. Your soul is taking the lead. It is cleansing you in divine timing, not through effort but through surrender. During this clearing, you might find yourself revisiting old wounds, reliving forgotten memories, or feeling emotions that don't even seem to belong to you. That is because some of them don't. Twin flames often purge not only their own emotional blocks, but also the mirrored pain of their counterpart. You may release for them, and they may release for you. It is a shared purification. The universe does this intentionally. Nothing that carries fear, shame, doubt, resentment, or attachment can cross the threshold into union. The portal of reunion demands authenticity and clarity. So the universe forces out every fragment of emotional energy that cannot survive in the vibration of sacred partnership. This purging is not a breakdown, it is a breakthrough. It is the final cleansing breath before the soul steps fully into reunion. One of the most overlooked yet powerful signs of an impending twin flame activation is the sudden disruption of your 3D life. This is the 3D life disruption pattern, a cosmic recalibration that rearranges your external reality so your inner path can align with the union energy rising within you. When this phase begins, you may notice a streak of unexpected delays, cancellations, interruptions, or plans falling apart for no logical reason. These disruptions are not coincidences. They are divine interventions disguised as inconvenience. Every delay is a redirection. Every cancellation is a protection. Every interruption is the universe whispering, "Not this way. Not this time." During a twin flame activation window, the universe becomes extremely precise. It blocks low vibrational paths, removes distractions, and collapses timelines that would pull you away from your spiritual upgrade. If something falls through suddenly, an appointment, a conversation, a trip, even a simple errand, it is because that experience would have interfered with the energetic synchronization taking place beneath the surface. Instead of seeing these disruptions as obstacles, see them as guidance. When your day gets rerouted in unexpected ways, the universe is positioning you to be in the right emotional, mental, or physical space for the activation energies to integrate. Maybe a sudden cancellation gives you a moment of stillness you didn't realize you needed. Maybe a delay prevents you from entering a situation that would have drained your energy. Maybe an interruption leads you to a moment of synchronicity, a number, a sign, a thought, or an emotional download connected to your twin flame. As your 3D life becomes unstable, your 5D path becomes clearer. This is the paradox of spiritual alignment. What looks like chaos externally is often perfect order internally. When twin flames approach a major energetic milestone, the universe must harmonize both of their timelines. And sometimes, the only way to do that is to shake loose the routines, habits, or plans that would keep them out of resonance. Chaos signals spiritual alignment because chaos is the clearing of what no longer matches your frequency. The closer your soul gets to reunion energy, the more incompatible anything stagnant or misaligned becomes. The universe will remove these elements swiftly, sometimes abruptly, to ensure nothing interferes with the activation of your shared path. The 3D life disruption pattern is not an obstacle, it is a divine course correction. It is the universe reshaping your reality so your soul can rise into the next stage of union. As the twin flame connection intensifies and the union portal opens, many begin experiencing a mysterious yet profoundly meaningful event known as the shadow counterpart phenomenon. This is not a trick of the mind nor a random visual glitch, it is the soul's subtle way of bridging the gap between dimensions. During this phase, you may begin seeing shadows, silhouettes, or fleeting figures that resemble your divine counterpart. These appear in the corner of your eye, in reflective surfaces, or during quiet moments when the veil between the physical and spiritual is thin. They are not meant to startle you. They are gentle reminders that your twin's energy is drawing closer, aligning with your own, and preparing for deeper connection. These shadows are energetic echoes, imprints of your twin flame soul essence manifesting in a form your physical senses can perceive. As your shared frequency rises, the soul begins communicating through more direct channels. The counterpart's higher self reaches across the energetic bridge to reassure you, guide you, and confirm what your intuition already knows: union is coming. These echoes may show up as glimmers of movement, soft outlines, or warm, almost human silhouettes that vanish the moment you fully look. They are not hallucinations. They are the resonance of two souls vibrating in unison before the physical world catches up. In many cases, these shadow forms are not just emotional projections but actual subtle visual cues from your twin flame's higher self. When reunion energies intensify, the higher self becomes more active, more present, and more visible. You may sense their presence behind you, feel them standing beside your bed, or see a shape that looks unmistakably like their posture or movement. This is a form of spiritual reassurance, your twin's higher consciousness reaching out to remind you that your paths are converging in ways the physical world cannot yet reveal. Shadow manifestations spike dramatically during twin flame portal activations because the veil separating dimensions becomes extraordinarily thin. During powerful cosmic windows, full moons, eclipses, planetary shifts, the energetic boundary softens, allowing subtle forms to pass through with ease. What is usually hidden becomes visible. What is usually silent becomes perceptible. These shadows appear not as warnings but as signs of alignment, confirmation, and preparation for the next stage of union. The shadow counterpart phenomenon is a sacred whisper from the universe. The connection is strengthening, the soul is approaching, and the reunion energy is becoming undeniable. As the twin flame connection approaches a new energetic threshold, many experience what is known as the quantum sensitivity spike, a sudden and powerful expansion of the senses that signals the soul's readiness for deeper union. This phase heightens your awareness beyond what the mind can logically understand, opening you to subtle frequencies that are normally filtered out in everyday life. Your senses sharpen not because of external stimuli, but because your soul is tuning itself to the energetic wavelength of your divine counterpart. During this period, you may notice your smell, hearing, and touch becoming unusually sensitive. Familiar scents become more vivid. Soft sounds feel amplified. The brush of fabric, air, or even the temperature of a room can feel charged with meaning. Your sensory system becomes a spiritual instrument, finely attuned to any shift in your twin flame's energy. This heightened perception is not accidental, it is preparation. The universe is helping your body register energetic communication that bypasses words entirely. Along with this, many feel energy gathering in their hands or crown chakra. Your palms may tingle, warm, or buzz as if holding invisible light. The crown may feel as though a soft current is streaming in from above. These sensations mark an increase in your spiritual receptivity. Your energetic body is opening to receive intuitive messages, emotional impressions, or telepathic exchanges from your twin. The energy in your hands reflects your growing ability to send, while the crown reflects your growing ability to receive. One of the most telling signs of a quantum sensitivity spike is the spontaneous appearance of goosebumps when thinking about your twin flame, or even when their name crosses your mind. This reaction is the body's way of acknowledging energetic truth. Goosebumps are not simply physical, they are a direct response to resonance. When your vibration matches the vibration of your twin flame's field, your cells respond instantly, rising in recognition. During this phase, you may also experience sudden shifts in mood or energy with no apparent trigger. You may wake up feeling unusually peaceful, or suddenly become emotional midday. This is often your twin flame's energy merging with yours or your shared field recalibrating. The two of you are sinking more deeply, and the emotional body becomes a sensitive barometer of that union. The quantum sensitivity spike is not overwhelming by accident, it is your soul expanding beyond its old limits. It is the universe preparing you to feel the connection with clarity, purity, and unmistakable truth. As the twin flame connection accelerates toward a higher stage of union, one of the most profound yet often misunderstood phases begins: the body-soul harmonization process. This is the stage where your physical vessel starts preparing itself for the incoming energetic merging long before your conscious mind fully understands what is happening. The body, being the most intuitive part of your earthly experience, responds instantly to shifts in your shared spiritual field, and it does so with remarkable precision. During this phase, you may notice yourself unconsciously adjusting your posture, your breath, or even the rhythm of your heartbeat. You may sit up straighter without knowing why, or suddenly take a deep, spontaneous breath that feels cleansing and intentional. Your heartbeat may change pace, not from fear or excitement, but from energetic synchronization. The body instinctively begins aligning itself so that your entire system is open, receptive, and grounded for the merging of twin flame energies. None of this is random. The body knows what the mind has not yet realized. You may also feel tingling sensations along your spine or in your lower chakras, especially the root, sacral, and solar plexus. These centers hold deep emotional memory, ancestral coding, and the blueprint of your physical identity. As your energies rise toward union, these chakras begin releasing stagnant or outdated frequencies. The tingling, buzzing, or warmth you feel is the flow of life force energy, Kundalini, awakening in preparation for connection. These sensations may come in waves, often during moments of stillness, meditation, or late at night when the mind is quiet. But why does the physical body begin preparing before the soul fully unites? Because the body is the vessel that must hold the intensity of the connection. Spiritual merging is not merely an emotional or metaphysical event, it is a full-spectrum activation that requires the nervous system, the circulatory system, the breath, and the energetic grid of the body to be strong enough to carry the shared frequency. If the body were not prepared, the overwhelming force of twin flame union could create imbalance or overwhelm. Instead, the universe gently guides the body first, making it strong, open, and balanced enough to receive the soul-level merging. The body-soul harmonization process is the quiet confirmation that union energy is becoming real, embodied, and imminent. It is the sacred preparation, your physical form rising to meet the truth your soul already knows is coming. As the twin flame connection approaches a higher stage of evolution, the energy dynamic between both counterparts undergoes a remarkable shift known as the twin flame polarity flip. This is not a reversal of identity, or a collapse of the natural roles you each carry. Instead, it is a temporary energetic rebalancing, an essential phase that helps heal old wounds, dissolve ego-driven patterns, and prepare both twins for a deeper, more harmonious union. During this phase, the divine feminine energy often becomes more active. The feminine, usually known for intuition, softness, and receiving, suddenly feels bold, clear, motivated, and forward-moving. She may feel the urge to take steps she once hesitated to take, speak truths she previously kept within, or embrace her power in ways that surprise even herself. This activation is not forceful, it is a blossoming. Her emotional clarity sharpens, her heart strengthens, and her energy rises to guide the connection where it needs to go. At the same time, the divine masculine experiences an equally profound shift. The masculine, often associated with action, direction, and grounding, becomes temporarily more receptive. He may find himself softening, opening, and feeling in ways he once avoided. Emotions that were suppressed begin surfacing. Intuition that once felt faint grows louder. He becomes more inward, reflective, sensitive to energetic shifts, and willing to receive guidance from the universe, from his own soul, and energetically from his counterpart. This does not weaken the masculine, it heals him. This polarity flip occurs to balance old imbalances that were formed over lifetimes of separation, conditioning, and emotional wounding. In previous cycles, the feminine may have overgiven, overfilled, or carried the emotional labor of the connection. The masculine may have overprotected, suppressed his vulnerability, or avoided emotional responsibility. The flip allows each twin to momentarily step into the energetic shoes of the other, bringing compassion, understanding, and equilibrium. The purpose of this temporary inversion is simple: to prepare both twins for aligned union. True union cannot happen when one is too active and the other too passive, when one carries all the emotional weight and the other carries all the responsibility, or when one leads while the other hides. Union requires balance, energetic equality, mutual strength, shared softness. The twin flame polarity flip is the universe's way of restoring harmony. It is the sacred moment when both souls learn to embody both sides of the divine within them. It is the final calibration before the connection rises into its next, more profound phase. As the twin flame connection moves into its higher phases of activation, one of the most profound experiences you may encounter is known as the orbital field expansion. This is the moment when your energetic body begins to stretch beyond the limits of your physical form, giving you the unmistakable sensation of being bigger, wider, and more spacious than your earthly body could ever contain. It is a sign that your vibration is rising and your aura is preparing to hold more light, more truth, and more of the shared soul frequency that unites you with your divine counterpart. During this phase, you may feel your aura expanding outward, almost as if it is reaching toward your twin flame across dimensions. The expansion is subtle at first, a gentle widening, a sense of openness, or the feeling of extra space around your body. But as the energies intensify, this expansion becomes more tangible. You may feel as though your presence fills the room, as if your energy blends with the air itself. This is not imagination. It is the natural stretching of your orbital field as your higher self anticipates deeper connection. At moments of intense activation, this expansion can feel like you are wrapped in warmth, or a static-like current. Some describe it as being cocooned in light. Others feel a soft electric field around their skin, humming gently, as though they are standing inside a sphere of higher consciousness. These sensations are the physical translation of your aura interacting with your twin flame's expanding field. The two orbital fields begin moving toward one another long before the physical bodies meet. It is the soul's way of preparing the connection energetically first, so the physical reunion can unfold more smoothly. But why does the aura expand during high-frequency upgrades? Because your energy body must become spacious enough to withstand the intensity of the merging process. Twin flame union radiates an incredibly high vibration, one that cannot be contained by a constricted or unbalanced aura. As your frequency increases, your aura naturally expands to hold more light, more intuitive guidance, and more of the shared energetic blueprint that belongs to both you and your counterpart. The orbital field expansion is one of the clearest signs that union energy is approaching. It reveals that your spirit is rising, your field is strengthening, and your soul is preparing to receive the next stage of divine connection. This expansion is the universe's embrace, a sign that you are ready to hold the power, purity, and magnitude of true twin flame union. As twin flames approach a deeper stage of energetic merging, the connection often enters a surreal yet profoundly sacred phase known as emotional teleportation. This is the moment when the boundaries separating your emotional worlds begin to dissolve, allowing your consciousness to momentarily slip into the energetic space of your divine counterpart. It is subtle, gentle, and undeniable, a spiritual experience that transcends linear logic and confirms the profound oneness shared between twin souls. During this phase, you may suddenly feel as though you are standing in your counterpart's room, even if you are physically miles away. The atmosphere may feel familiar, intimate, or strangely recognizable. You might sense the temperature, the lighting, or even the emotional energy of the space they are in. This is not imagination. Your higher self is momentarily aligning with their environment, giving you a direct connection to the energetic reality they inhabit. It is a sign that your souls are drawing closer into the same vibrational field. One of the most extraordinary manifestations of emotional teleportation is experiencing memories that do not belong to you. These may appear as flashes, visions, feelings, or impressions that seem out of place in your own life but deeply connected to your twin flame. You may feel emotions that make no sense contextually, yet resonate deeply in your heart. These are moments from their past, emotions they carry, or experiences they have lived. Through the merging of your emotional fields, you momentarily access their inner world, gaining insight into their journey and healing wounds that belong to both of you. Another common sign is smelling their perfume, cologne, or the scent of their environment even when they are nowhere near. This scent may appear in your home, your car, or while you are sitting quietly in meditation. Scents are one of the strongest carriers of memory and energy. When you smell their essence without physical presence, it is the universe confirming that your energetic connection is intensifying, blending, and becoming more seamless. All of these experiences lead to one powerful phenomenon: the momentary merging of emotional timelines. For a few seconds, or even minutes, you and your twin flame exist in the same emotional dimension. Your hearts beat in harmony. Your feelings overlap. Your timelines braid together, preparing you for the deeper merging that is yet to unfold. Emotional teleportation is not just a sign of connection, it is a sacred preview of union. It shows that your souls are aligning, communicating, and moving steadily toward the moment when separation dissolves and your shared consciousness becomes one. As the twin flame connection moves closer to its destined point of alignment, there comes a moment when the spiritual architecture behind your union begins to reveal itself. This is the phase known as the activation of soul contract codes, an ancient awakening where old agreements, pre-incarnation promises, and shared missions begin resurfacing energetically. It is not something you search for. It is something that rises effortlessly from within, as if a forgotten part of your soul suddenly remembers why it came here and who it came here with. During this phase, you may feel old agreements resurfacing in subtle yet powerful ways. These agreements are not intellectual memories but energetic imprints, promises made between your souls long before this lifetime. You may sense recognition of a path you are meant to walk together, a vow you once exchanged, or a shared responsibility that has been quietly guiding your journey all along. These sensations arrive through intuition, dreams, sudden emotional knowing, or even a deep inner call you cannot explain. As these codes activate, you begin realizing the deeper purpose of your reunion. This connection is not merely romantic, it is transformational. You start to understand that you and your twin flame are here to uplift one another, expand consciousness, break old generational patterns, and serve a higher collective purpose. Whether your mission is healing, creativity, spiritual guidance, inner evolution, or something yet to be revealed, the clarity begins forming like a constellation, quietly, gradually, inevitably. With this awakening comes intuitive clarity about your shared mission. Ideas flow effortlessly. Insights arrive at strange hours. You may suddenly feel compelled to change direction in life or to align your actions with a higher calling. This clarity does not feel forced, it feels remembered. As if your soul is finally catching up to a blueprint it has carried all along. Your intuition becomes the compass that leads you toward fulfilling what your contract contains. These soul contract awakenings often peak during full moon portals because the moon magnifies the subconscious and thins the veil between lifetimes. Under full moon frequencies, emotional truth rises, spiritual memory unlocks, and dormant codes illuminate within the aura. The amplified light reveals what was once hidden, allowing pre-incarnated agreements to resurface with unmistakable force. Soul contract activation codes mark the moment when your connection shifts from coincidence to destiny. It is the quiet recognition that your reunion is not just unfolding, it is fulfilling a promise written across lifetimes. As the twin flame journey advances into higher alignment, one of the most powerful energetic shifts unfolds within the divine masculine, the sacred masculine awakening. This awakening is not loud or dramatic, it is steady, grounded, and deeply transformative. It marks the moment when the masculine energy begins rising into its true spiritual expression, no longer driven by fear or avoidance, but by clarity, purpose, and devotion to the shared soul path. During this phase, the masculine's protective, grounding, and stabilizing energy grows stronger. This is not the protection rooted in control or fear, it is the sacred form of protection born from awareness, strength, and responsibility. You may feel this shift energetically as a sense of calm, safety, or stability that begins radiating from your counterpart's soul. Even if they are physically distant, their energy becomes more solid, more present, more anchored. They begin creating an energetic foundation strong enough to support the union that is emerging. A major part of this awakening involves the masculine consciousness stepping into purpose. For so long, the masculine may have been scattered, uncertain, or disconnected from their deeper spiritual identity. But when this awakening begins, their mission becomes clearer. They start aligning their actions with their soul's truth. They feel called to become better, to grow, to show up, not only for themselves, but for the shared path they are destined to walk with their counterpart. Purpose becomes their compass, and courage becomes their fuel. This awakening also triggers the release of avoidance, fear, and emotional detachment. The masculine, who may have once hidden behind distractions or distance, begins facing himself with honesty. Old walls crumble. Emotional numbness fades. The fear of vulnerability softens. He is no longer running from the connection or from his own emotions. Instead, he begins turning toward the relationship with awareness and willingness. This shift is subtle yet profound, an internal transformation that changes everything. Ultimately, the sacred masculine awakening is about preparation. The masculine energy begins creating the container for union, the energetic structure, emotional stability, and spiritual readiness needed for the connection to ground in the physical world. Without this container, the divine feminine's energy cannot fully descend, and the union cannot anchor. This awakening is not just a phase, it is a return. A return to strength, integrity, devotion, and soul leadership. It is the masculine rising into who he was always meant to be, so the union can unfold as it was always destined to. As the twin flame journey evolves into its higher stages, the divine feminine undergoes a profound transformation known as the sacred feminine expansion. This phase marks the blossoming of the feminine essence, an inner widening of the heart, a softening of fear, and a renewed ability to trust the unfolding of the connection. It is not a passive experience. It is an active awakening of love in its highest, most spiritual form. During this phase, the feminine feels her heart widening, as though her emotional capacity suddenly deepens beyond its previous limits. Compassion flows more freely, not only toward her counterpart, but toward herself, her past, and the entire universe. This compassion is not weakness, it is strength refined through lifetimes of emotional experience. As her heart expands, she no longer closes herself to protect old wounds. Instead, she allows love to move through her with clarity and gentleness, creating space for union energy to settle within her emotional body. As this expansion deepens, the feminine consciousness begins embracing trust. This trust is not blind, it is intuitive. It is the knowing that the universe is orchestrating the connection in divine timing. Fear-driven urgency dissolves. The old need to chase, force, or analyze begins to fade. The feminine becomes anchored in her inner truth, trusting the spiritual bond even when the physical circumstances seem uncertain. She no longer looks outward for reassurance, she looks inward, where the soul connection has always been alive and undeniable. One of the most transformative aspects of this phase is the release of control, doubt, and emotional memory. The feminine lets go of patterns born from past wounds, fears of abandonment, or expectations shaped by old relationships. Emotional memories that once created heaviness begin to dissolve as the feminine makes peace with her past. This release is not forgetting, it is freeing. It is the moment when she realizes she no longer needs to hold on to pain to protect herself. With this release comes readiness. The feminine energy begins preparing to receive the union, not through effort, but through openness. She becomes receptive, aligned, and emotionally spacious. She makes energetic room for partnership, for balance, for the merging of two souls. Her expansion signals to the universe that she is ready, not to chase union, but to receive it. The sacred feminine expansion is the flowering of divine love within her. It is the inner rising that perfectly complements the masculine's awakening, allowing both energies to meet in harmony and step into the next stage of sacred union. As the twin flame connection intensifies and the energetic bond deepens, many begin experiencing one of the most intimate and awe-inspiring signs of approaching union, the etheric touch sensation. This is the moment when the soul's presence begins crossing dimensional boundaries, allowing you to physically feel your counterpart even when they are nowhere near your physical body. It is gentle, subtle, and deeply sacred, proof that the connection lives not in the mind, but in the shared energetic field that unites you. During this phase, you may feel as though your twin flame is touching your hand, brushing your arm, or standing close behind you. Sometimes you may feel the sensation of breath on your neck or cheek, or the unmistakable impression of someone sitting beside you. These sensations are not hallucinations. They are the merging of two energetic bodies whose frequencies are becoming synchronized. When the soul reaches out, it does so through touch, soft, warm, and impossibly familiar. One of the clearest signs of etheric presence is the gentle warmth that suddenly appears on your skin. It may arise on your shoulder, your back, your hands, or your chest. This warmth carries emotional memory and intention. It is your counterpart's higher self comforting you, holding you, or reassuring you that the connection is active and evolving. The warmth may feel like a soft glow, a quiet radiance, or a subtle heat that appears without any physical source. It is the soul reminding you that love transcends all physical limits. You may also experience subtle vibrations along your back, chest, or heart space. These vibrations often come during moments of thought, longing, meditation, or emotional clarity. They feel like a gentle hum, a pulse, or a ripple of energy just beneath the surface of your skin. These are the resonance waves of the shared soul, the energetic echo of your twin flame entering your field. The spine and chest are particularly sensitive because they are portals for higher consciousness and emotional merging. But how does the soul cross dimensional boundaries this way? Through frequency. When two twin flames rise into vibrational alignment, the barrier between the physical and the etheric becomes thin. The soul does not need physical form to connect, it needs resonance. As both energies synchronize, they create a bridge, allowing one soul to reach into the other's reality. The etheric touch sensation is a divine reminder that the connection is real, alive, and preparing to manifest more fully. It is the universe whispering that union is not distant, it is already unfolding, touch by touch, frequency by frequency, soul to soul. As the twin flame journey moves toward a profound energetic shift, you may begin feeling an undeniable call to withdraw from the noise of the external world. This is the call to sacred stillness, a soul-led invitation to step inward, slow down, and open your inner landscape to the messages rising from beyond the physical. It is not isolation born from sadness or avoidance. It is a sacred recalibration, a quieting of the human self so the spiritual self can speak clearly. During this phase, you may experience a deep urge to reflect, meditate, or simply sit in silence without knowing why. The usual distractions lose their appeal. Conversations feel heavier. Social energy becomes draining. You may find yourself craving solitude, craving nature, or craving quiet moments where your mind softens and your breath deepens. This urge is not accidental, it is guided. Your soul is preparing you to receive the next wave of information, insight, and energetic upgrades. As you enter this stillness, you begin feeling pulled inward as though something within you is gently guiding you towards silence. In this silence, the noise of doubt fades and the voice of internal guidance grows louder, clearer, and more unmistakable. Intuitive messages begin flowing with ease. Subtle insights arise at unexpected moments. You may suddenly know what steps to take, what decisions to make, or what emotional truth needs to be acknowledged. Stillness becomes a sacred meeting ground where the higher self whispers what the human self has forgotten. This internal guidance is not imagination, it is the soul leading you toward alignment. In sacred stillness, you reconnect with your divine blueprint, your emotional truth, and your spiritual clarity. You remember what your mind has tried to rationalize away. You feel the presence of your twin flame more vividly. You sense the direction your connection is moving toward. The inner world becomes brighter than the outer one. But why does stillness always precede major energetic shifts? Because the soul can only deliver transformational messages in a calm and receptive space. Before a major upgrade, the universe pulls you inward so your energy can stabilize, your intuition can sharpen, and your heart can open fully. Stillness is preparation. It is the energetic grounding needed before union energies activate, before timelines shift, and before the next chapter of your connection unfolds. The call to sacred stillness is the universe saying, "Be still." Something profound is approaching. Listen with your soul, not your mind. As the twin flame journey intensifies across the planet, something extraordinary begins unfolding within the energetic fabric of the world, the collective grid amplification. This is the moment when thousands of twin flames awaken, activate, and elevate simultaneously, each pair becoming a point of light in a rapidly expanding global network. What you feel during this time is not just your energy shifting. You are sensing the rising tide of an entire collective moving forward in unison, guided by a shared divine blueprint. During this phase, the power of shared intention becomes unmistakably clear. When twin flames across the world begin focusing on healing, reunion, inner alignment, or unconditional love at the same time, their combined energy amplifies exponentially. Each intention strengthens another. Each breakthrough creates ripples. Each moment of clarity from one pair subtly supports the awakening of another. This is not coincidence. It is the architecture of the twin flame journey, the realization that no pair walks this path alone. The collective field strengthens with every heart that opens, every fear that dissolves, and every soul that remembers its purpose. As this global activation unfolds, a powerful energetic network forms around the planet. You may feel sudden waves of warmth, surges of emotion, or bursts of clarity that seem to come out of nowhere. In truth, you are tapping into the grid, the interconnected field of twin flame energy that transcends borders, languages, and physical separation. This grid is alive. It pulses. It communicates. It vibrates with the frequency of unity, healing, and divine love. And as more twins awaken, the grid expands, becoming brighter, stronger, more magnetic. One of the most profound aspects of this amplification is how it accelerates individual unions. When the collective rises, your individual journey receives a boost of momentum. Blocks dissolve faster. Emotional healing deepens with less resistance. Signs and synchronicities increase. The universe aligns circumstances with more precision. This happens because the grid lifts you into a higher frequency, making it easier for you to access clarity, intuition, and heart-centered truth. The collective field acts like a supportive wave, pushing each pair forward in divine timing. The collective grid amplification reminds you that your union is part of something far greater than two souls meeting. It is woven into a global awakening, a rising of consciousness happening across continents, hearts, and timelines. When the grid amplifies, union energy becomes unstoppable, and the path ahead becomes clearer than ever before. As the twin flame journey deepens and union energies rise, one of the most powerful inner transformations begins: the collapse of false identities. This is not merely emotional healing, it is a soul-level deconstruction of every version of yourself that was shaped by fear, conditioning, survival, or past wounds. The twin flame connection exposes what is real and dissolves what is not, inviting both souls to step into authenticity with a clarity they may have never experienced before. During this phase, the old versions of you begin falling away. You may notice that behaviors, beliefs, or patterns that once felt necessary suddenly feel heavy or foreign. You may lose interest in old roles you played, old ways of coping, old ways of presenting yourself to the world. This shedding can feel like a death and a rebirth happening simultaneously. You are not losing yourself, you are losing the versions of you that were never aligned with your soul's truth. As this shedding unfolds, you begin realizing what was never truly you in the first place. The people-pleasing, the self-protection, the emotional walls, the performance of confidence, the avoidance, the attachment to control, these were all layers built from life experiences rather than soul identity. When the twin flame energy activates, these layers can no longer stay intact. They begin peeling away, revealing the essence beneath: your vulnerability, strength, intuition, and pure heart. Egoic masks crumble in this phase. Not because you force them to, but because they simply cannot withstand the vibration of truth that rises within the connection. Masks that once helped you navigate relationships or hide your wounds no longer serve you. The twin flame mirror reflects your true self so clearly that pretending becomes impossible. Your soul demands honesty, from yourself, from your counterpart, and from the world. As these false identities dissolve, something beautiful occurs. You begin making space for authenticity within yourself and within the union. Authenticity is the foundation of twin flame harmony. It is the space where love becomes unconditional, communication becomes transparent, and the connection becomes stabilized. Without authenticity, union cannot anchor. With authenticity, union becomes inevitable. The collapse of false identities is not a destruction, it is a liberation. It is the moment your soul steps forward and your conditioning steps aside. It is the universe preparing both of you to meet each other as your truest selves, so the union that forms is not based on illusion, but on pure, unshakable truth. After the intensity of a twin flame portal has passed, a profound and unmistakable shift fills the energetic space around you. This is the post-portal glow period, a sacred 72-hour window where the energies of activation begin to settle into your physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. It is a time of heightened synchronicity, inner clarity, and radiant alignment. The transformation is not loud or chaotic as the activation itself. Instead, it is gentle, luminous, and deeply stabilizing, like the soul exhaling after being lifted into a higher dimension. During these 72 hours, synchronicities become almost impossible to ignore. Angel numbers increase. Meaningful songs play at uncanny moments. Dreams intensify. Signs from the universe appear with perfect precision, guiding you with reassuring clarity. This synchronicity is not random, it is the reflection of your field rising into a new frequency. The universe responds instantly to your vibration now, mirroring your alignment back to you in constant waves. You feel guided, supported, and connected to a higher flow. As this glow settles around you, you begin feeling lighter, clearer, and more whole. Emotional burdens that once weighed heavily on your chest feel dissolved. Old fears no longer take up as much space. Your thoughts feel sharper, your intuition louder, and your heart more open. The portal has removed layers that were clouding your truth, and what remains is the essential you, the soul you were always meant to embody. This clarity is not fleeting, it is the first sign that the activation has successfully anchored. One of the most powerful sensations during this period is the magnetic pull toward your twin flame. You may feel drawn to them with a gentle but undeniable force, not from longing, but from alignment. Your energies are closer, your timelines more intertwined, your shared frequency more synchronized. This magnetic pull is the natural result of the clearing and harmonizing that took place during the portal. The connection feels stronger, steadier, and more real in your body. The most important aspect of the post-portal glow period is the transition from activation into manifestation. Activation opens the door, but manifestation brings the union into form. In these 72 hours, your intentions crystallize, your energy stabilizes, and your path becomes more grounded. This is the moment when the universe begins rearranging the physical world to match the spiritual shift within you. The post-portal glow period is your spiritual confirmation. The union energy is no longer just awakening. It is beginning to manifest. And now you understand why this moment in your twin flame journey is unlike anything you've ever experienced. Why intimacy before November ends isn't something to rush into, but something to approach with awareness, alignment, and divine timing. The universe isn't blocking you, it's preparing you, protecting you, positioning both of you for the kind of union that doesn't just feel powerful, it lasts. If this message resonated with you, if you felt the truth of it in your body, your heart, or your intuition, I want you to declare it below. Drop the words, "I choose divine timing," in the comments. Not just as a phrase, but as a signal to the universe that you are ready for the highest path, not the fastest one. Your voice matters. Your energy matters. Your intention matters. And if you felt guided, seen, or supported by this transmission, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next activation in your twin flame journey. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Until next time, protect your energy, honor your intuition, and trust the timing written for your union long before this lifetime. I'll see you in the next transmission.